Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Rafaela and today I'm here to present to you my third photography project. I managed to find some written work on the project itself. I think this was the written work for my final hand-in. So it talks about the project itself, the concept, the inspiration of other photographers, and also just showcases the project throughout the work. So I thought this would be really great to share with you, as finally I have more than just what I remember and I actually have a little bit more information on the project. So the project that I am showcasing today is titled From Girl to Woman, Milestones and Metamorphosis, and this was done for a module in narrative photography. The initial concept for this module is to follow a transformative journey of a girl turning into a woman through the use of narrative photography, methods such as sequenced images, and by using the elements of pairing text with my photographs. I intended to create a photo diary which lets the viewer read into the private experiences of 8 different women. Now, these 8 women have assisted me in this project by sharing personal information such as handwritten letters, statements, notes, and poems that they have narrated for the audience on what being a woman is like for them. The purpose of these photographs are to embrace and celebrate femininity, womanhood, and motherhood by capturing a significant milestone in one journey. Social expectations offer a prescribed narrative to girls from a young age, telling them things like, when you are older one day you will become a woman, or you'll become someone's wife or someone's mother. Now, these images paired with the writing of these women's experiences show the similarities between what is expected of them. However, more importantly, they illustrate the non-linear path each woman takes on her journey to womanhood. One photographer that I took inspiration from was American photographer Dwayne Michael, who was known for his narrative style and his sequenced photographs paired with the use of text. By pairing these images together, he was able to create photographs through which he gives the audience the ability to voice their experiences and thoughts. The text used within his work acts out as extra information for the audience, and this is able to let the audience read a little bit better into the concept of the photographs. Photographs are wordless images, so putting words to them allows the viewer to get a deeper connection and understanding of what is truly being depicted out for them. Keeping in mind, I also used Sophie Calle in my workbook as an example. I used Dwayne Michael for his sequenced photographs, and I used Sophie Calle for her use of text and intimate diary-like entries. I then began to experiment so that my project could take up on a more solid shape, and I first began with a storyboard. This was done so that I could plan out the narrative that I wanted to share, and this acted out as a guide for what the subject matter would be and how I could compose the shots and the topics it would represent. I began to experiment with adding text to my photographs, and doing so allowed me to understand how important composure was, not just the picture in the frame itself, but also where would I put that text? Is it inside the picture? Is it minimizing the picture and putting it under? Also, because I worked with handwritten text, which it was handwritten on paper and then it was scanned, I wasn't able to edit the writing. I wasn't able to put in or take something out. The only thing that I was able to do was to size it, make it bigger or smaller. So this is a contact sheet with all the writings that later on accompanied the photographs. Like I said, I had the women write freely whatever they wanted to express, yet they were only guided to write in paragraphs closely spaced together to form either a square or a rectangle, so that this will make it easier to later on pair with photographs. This is one of the contact sheets of the photographs that I've taken. Now I had to figure out a way in which I will compose these images together with text. I have already experimented with the text being under the photographs, therefore I tried to pair them one next to the other. And I had to think about the layout of the image and the text ahead of time, as I was taking into consideration what my final body of work would look like, as well as the way in which I would exhibit these photographs. This is just a photograph to show you sort of the editing process of this. I did decide for my final work to go with one image on the right and then the writing on the left. And these are the final pictures, these are the final images paired with text, the final body of work. You can pause if you would like to read the messages of these women. Now, a lot of these women were either overseas or I didn't have access to do a photo shoot with them. So what I did was I let them write out their text first. I would read it and then I would do my best to sort of depict the story into the photograph. So I acted out as the messenger and the middleman and an actor for them. But yeah, let me know what you think. I think that I really enjoyed this lesson. I enjoyed this module so much. I think that if I was to continue this body of work, I would definitely exhibit it in a diary-like form, in a booklet form, only because it would make so much sense to do so. The writing is so intimate that I feel like it wouldn't work if I just printed a big size copy of it and put it on a wall. It feels like, because these are stories, it's much better to go page by page and to just have that intimacy of holding it physically in your hand. But yeah, that was my third project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I shall see you next time to showcase my fourth one. Bye bye.